What's up, guys? Blade Master here. We are going to be looking at a use it, lose it, use it and lose it replay. This is my first match in the use and lose it tournament. Yes, I initially thought that I wouldn't be joining this tournament, but you know, why not? I guess I probably won't be proceeding too far into the tournament, anyways. And I seem to have some spare time. There were a couple of projects that I was supposed to that were supposed to start that haven't really started yet. So you know, work is all right so far. Nothing too hectic. Besides, one of the contestants dropped out, so Trolly Bolly asked me if I wanted to fill in. I was like, sure. So my first match is against, of course, you know him. His name is Trimalchio. He's the master of Swaby. So we decided to fight on Nemerisena for the first game. I have taken Ardiaei. Now, use it and lose it, of course, that means if you use a faction, you lose it. And you know, I'm paying all due respect to Trimalchio by bringing Ardiaei, which is definitely one of the strongest round 1 picks. Very, very strong faction. Swaby is probably extremely strong too. He has not decided to pick Swaby. He's gone with his other favorite army, which is the Getae. Getae, though, I don't think they're as powerful as Ardiaei in this tournament. He's brought a total of 4 bow horsemen. You can bring a total of 4 of the same infantry or same type of unit, and max of 8 total infantry, I believe. So he's got 4 noble swords, including a noble swords general, which must be behind there. He's brought a total of 2 foxmen and 1 mercenary axe warrior. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. There must be a second mercenary axe warrior on the other flank. And finally, he's brought a total of 4 spear warriors. These are the 300 talent unit. God damn, my fucking chair makes such a massive sound. They are heavy. What is insane is the heavy spears are medium, but the spear warriors, which are cheaper than them, are heavy. What fucking sense does that make? I have no goddamn clue. So anyways, I've got some Illyrian Thuria spears here. He's bringing 2 of his spear horsemen up in front. He's brought a total of 4 of them. 2 of them are going to proceed very aggressively. Of course, I brought the Illyrian Thuria spears because I knew he was going to bring bow horsemen. And these guys have the precursor javelins, which should be deadly if the bow horsemen come into range. But they are light in mass, low in health, low in pretty decent armor though. But they will fall to charge, especially when they're spread out as thin as this. So he's moving up the spear horsemen, possibly to just charge into them very quickly. I brought a total of 3 slave slingers. I've brought a total of 4 Illyrian noble hoplites, including, of course, an Illyrian noble hoplite general, a couple of Illyrian hoplites on the flanks, a total of 2 Illyrian Thuria spears, and then for my infantry line, I've got 1, 2. So I've got, I think, 4 mercenary axe and 2 Celtic warriors. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 4 total mercenary axe warriors and 2 Celtic warriors, yeah, and a total of 3 Illyrian cavalry. So because he was trying to move up very close with the spear horsemen, I decided to maybe try and cut off some of his escape routes by keeping 1 Illyrian cavalry behind and 1 Illyrian cavalry up in front. But he's going to move far away, so there's no point in me trying to chase him. He's got the better of, he's got, you know, the upper hand in terms of maneuverability with his huge amounts of cavalry. But spear horsemen, not the greatest cavalry unit. Illyrian cavalry, pretty decent with their 15 bonus versus large. These guys only have 10 bonus versus large. The Illyrian cavalry, of course, have poorer spears though. But all in all, I think the Illyrian cavalry will do a very cost-effective job against the spear horsemen. But the only way I'm going to use the Illyrian cavalry, the only way I have to use the Illyrian cavalry is to reinforce and to chase away. That's the only 2 ways. The Illyrian cavalry are medium in mass, and that is going to come into play soon in this battle. So the spear horsemen, looks like the spear horsemen are coming in to chase. Nothing else is going on in the battlefield, so I might as well put this in cinematic cam, get some early cinematic screenshots here. I turned off fire at will for my Illyrian Thuria spears earlier on, so they didn't get all of their javelin volleys off. But that means they're not going to get the most number of kills. Of course, these guys have cavalry counter tactics, so while these spear horsemen pull out, they're getting 1 kill, 2 kills. They are taking quite a bit of damage. I've popped square on them. The bow horsemen, meanwhile, are behind. Now I'm going to use the Illyrian cavalry to catch some of the retreating spear horsemen. So far, Illyrian Thuria spears only got 3 kills, and they've lost around 50 men, which is not very good for me. And Illyrian cavalry are getting kind of out of hand. They're pretty far away. They've only killed 3 of the spear horsemen, and I've pushed up with them far too aggressively, while this Illyrian Thuria spears are getting some shots in the bow horsemen. So now the Illyrian cavalry get caught by the spear horsemen. they're going to get the attack in the rear penalty. Not really. But this means he's going to blob up 2 of his spear horsemen against my Illyrian cavalry. And while my Illyrian cavalry will obviously lose that engagement, I have the Illyrian 3 spears with their 20 bonus versus large, who will do quite a bit of damage in reinforcing this sort of engagement. And now, because of their light mass and the fact that I had infantry support, I can easily pull out my Illyrian cavalry, and also I'm using my slave slingers to try and get some shots in against the bow horsemen. And the Illyrian cavalry actually managed to catch the bow horsemen. Bow horsemen are light and the Illyrian cavalry are medium, so there could be instances like this where they tend to catch at least a couple of them. So just at attack orders, my Illyrian cavalry are going to die because they only have 55 armor, but they are going to catch some of the bow horsemen. So that's the medium mass coming into play. The bow horsemen are they've been caught pretty decisively here. They're losing quite a few men. My Illyrian Thuria spears has gotten a total of 19 kills on cavalry, which is pretty decent for you know, a unit of their price. Slave slingers gotten 6 kills on cavalry so far. I'm going to use a mercenary Celtic warrior to reinforce and not let my slave slingers get charged at. But mercenary Celtic warriors themselves won't do too well against a charge. They're losing quite a few men there. And he's going to pull straight through with his spear horseman. That's completely fine because he knocked down my Celtic warriors. But they've already gotten 27 kills on both of the spear horsemen. Illyrian cavalry still chasing off, gotten 22 kills, but they are dying pretty rapidly here. So what I'm going to do is just pull them away from that engagement. The mercenary Celtic warriors got a second javelin volley off, and now I'm going to set both of my Illyrian cavalry on to these 2 spear horsemen. And the Illyrian cavalry will do very well in this sort of engagement. When they don't get charged at by spear horsemen, they'll do an excellent job with their 15 bonus versus cavalry spears. 15 kills on spear horsemen so far. One of them is wavering, both of them are wavering, and I pop frenzy charge to make sure my 3rd Illyrian cavalry comes in and gets a nice rear charge and just puts an end to 2 spear horsemen. So pretty decisive engagement that went in my favor there. Trimalchio, I can see what he was trying to do there. He did a very good job of using the spear horseman. Initially killed off a Illyrian Thuria spear, almost killed, well, basically killed off an Illyrian cavalry, but in turn he's lost 2 of his spear horsemen, and one of his bow horsemen is down to 39, the other one's down to 58 units. Again, keeping my Celtic warriors very close to my slave slingers. The lag in this game really acted up because these slave slingers, I set attack orders on these guys, as you can see over here. I don't know if you can see it. But I set attack orders on these bow horsemen a long time ago, but they just kept repositioning for some reason. So mercenary Celtic warriors down to 89 men, got 43 kills though. That's the danger of precursor javelins, and that's why Ardiaei is such a strong faction. Getae, of course, have very few units that have precursor volleys. Bow horsemen taking tons of damage here from slave slingers. They've gotten 25 kills themselves, which is, I think, mostly on cavalry. I mean, all on cavalry. What else? They've only been fighting cavalry. One of the bow horsemen wavering. Early engagements not really going in favor of Trimalchio. Now it looks like he's trying to commit with his bow horsemen. They're getting very close to my slave slingers. Of course, I have my mercenary Celtic warriors very close by. They are going to take some damage from the retreating bow horsemen, but meanwhile the slave slingers are going to be firing into their backs, so they are not going to be liking that at all. So you can see they're losing quite a few men steadily. Meanwhile, the mainline engagement has not started. It's these sort of engagements that are just so decisive in Rome 2 that you just don't see in Attila, which is another reason why I like Rome 2 battles much more. 30 kills on my slave slingers. Mercenary Celtic warriors 43 kills, down to 73 men. They've definitely lost a ton of HP damage. A ton of HP on all of their units as well. Just need some water. It's like 1 a.m. So I'm basically insomnia master at this point. Here, slave slingers. 2 of the other slave slingers are going to start firing into one of his noble swords. Noble swords, obviously the main threat in this army. 4 noble swords will definitely win out against my 4 Illyrian noble hoplites. But if they're going to take rear shots from 2 slave slingers like this, you know, they're definitely going to be losing a ton of very precious HP. Once one of them starts dropping, you know that a lot of them have lost a lot of HP. So far, noble swords looks like on the surface it looks like they haven't taken any damage, but they're losing a lot of HP. These guys have 65 health. Yeah, 65 health. So that's definitely on the upper side of things. As you can see, Illyrian noble hoplites, only the elite units have 65 health. And yeah, slingers, they they very quickly, they slowly rack up the kills and they quickly rack up the kills at the same time. Slowly because it takes a long time for them to because they have lower missile damage. It takes a longer time for them to start getting that HP to rack up the HP damage. But once they do, the extra armor penetration in each slingshot means that they're going to rack up a lot of kills, especially if you get them in the right positions. My slave slingers have been invaluable so far. Slave slingers, as good as Germanic slingers, they have an excellent missile block chance. I think it's like 55. The reason why no one really brings them is because there's no point in bringing it seems like there's no point in bringing slingers with a super armored Ardiaei army. For many engagements that rings true, but you know, maybe we will see the slingers being put to good use. Here I turn off fire at will. There's no point in firing into the spear warriors. That's exactly what he wants me to do. Spear warriors have I think like 40% missile block chance. They've got the regular shield which all the Getae units have, and that along with their 65 armor means they're going to do pretty well. Here his bow horsemen dying. They are already exhausted because they've been running around. They're going to charge into my slave slingers. Exactly what I want. My Illyrian cavalry, it looks like they're about to charge in, but here is where I make a pretty good move, if I may toot my own horn. Popping Frenzy Charge, which increases the charge damage, acceleration. Let's see, let's pause this 1 second. Charge speed, charge damage, and acceleration, which really, it increases their speed by a whole lot. So these full strength bow horsemen just got charged at by a really, you know, with a deadly charge. You know, 38 is not a huge boost, but you can see they're so much quicker that they catch two bow horsemen who are light, and they are going to just, you know, put them to bed basically. One of the bow horsemen is dead, down to 22 units from that charge, and the other bow horseman after that charge is down to 40 men, and finally the third bow horseman is down to 37. So in a matter of seconds, these Illyrian cavalry, which I believe they didn't have any kills before this, got 73 kills. Nah, I'm sure they got some kills of other cavalry before. But all in all, that was a crucial engagement that went in my favor, because that means now he has only 2 bow horsemen. No, he has 3, but 2 of them are severely depleted, and it's a huge psychological penalty for him, because he's lost a ton of cavalry, and you know, you want full strength bow horsemen, you want full strength spear horsemen ready with you when this frontline engagement starts, because with the support of my Celtic warriors and axe warriors, the noble swords really, like, they are not going to be able to tank out you know, all that damage by themselves. So pulling back with my slave slingers, I kept them all the way up there as a bait so that he could charge in with his bow horsemen, and at the very least they'll keep firing in. Even if they got charged and I didn't react, they would have just gotten good enough number of kills. 46 kills with these guys on cavalry is good, but yeah, that tactic turned out to be very crucial so far. Let's see. So now again going to fire into the exact same noble swords unit that I was firing at earlier with these 2 slave slingers. I don't have to fear him charging into my army because he has very few cavalry now, and I'm sure he wants to save them. So noble swords, you know, firing into their shield, like into their front, not going to take too much damage, but again, HP damage. That's what really matters here. If I can poke one hole in this noble swords line, then you know I'll be fine. I've got an Illyrian. Oh, so by the way, that's the conundrum that you face with the Ardiaei in this under these rules. I had, I think, 1,000 total talents left in my army, so I had to put experience upgrades on Illyrian noble hoplites. So 1 experience upgrade on all of them, and then a single XP upgrade on all of my melee infantry as well. Slave Singers sort of wasting their ammo on spear warriors here, and now I'm going to bring in one of my mercenary Celtic warriors to charge into these spear warriors. They're going to waste a precursor volley on these pretty shitty units, which is not great on my part. He's going to pull away with the spear warriors. Some of them get caught in the rear, but it's going to allow his guys to get a precursor volley on my mercenary Celtic. I'm going to pull away with them because I don't want to charge and get killed by this noble swords immediately. This noble swords meanwhile has lost 4 men from my Illyrian slave slingers, and they're starting to drop down very quickly now. Again, HP damage. Now he's trying to outflank me, so I catch him at the last second with mercenary axe warriors here, and now Illyrian noble hoplites are going to charge into his noble swords. I tried to get a coordinated charge with my cavalry, didn't do that well. And here, all in all, he's just going to charge me from all directions here, popping square on my Illyrian Thoria spears so that they somehow improve their bracing. I turned off fire at will, which means they will actually improve their bracing this way. Here, Mercenary Celtic warriors supporting the Illyrian regular hoplites, but the flanks will not go in my favor. This is an engagement that I will lose. These Illyrian noble hoplites killed 23 men, lost a lot of men themselves on the charge. They're very good on the charge, but so are noble swords. This mercenary axe warriors has held up the Illyrian, the noble swords general. Going to charge in with Illyrian noble hoplites. They got a proper charge in. Going to knock down some of the units with my spear horsemen as well. Then pull away immediately. Now you can see there's a hole that's been formed here. There's a gap in the center that I'm going to use my Illyrian noble hoplites general to fill. As you may notice, this is an intimidate warrior general, so he has intimidate and war cry abilities. War cry, penalizes or gives a morale penalty to the enemy unit, and intimidate, it basically stops them from using any of their special abilities. So it's going to be very useful against a Getae army like this, which has plenty of units that can use headhunt. So here, these noble swords are dropping down to 73 men because slave slingers with 16 kills and 46 kills are firing into their flanks. Pulling away with Illyrian cavalry, the bow horsemen charged into this slave slinger, did a decent bit of damage. Here, rear charging with Illyrian cavalry, they're down to half strength, but that's going to do a lot of HP damage onto these noble swords. As you can see, they're taking a lot more damage from my Illyrian noble hoplites now, and this bow horseman died. Can't really do much. The Illyrian hoplites here, the hoplite phalanx is not working. No, it's working. It's working, but they're moving around, which is not perfect. Mercenary Celtic warriors dying to Foxmen. These guys have gotten 17 kills, and Spear warriors gotten 21 kills themselves. All in all, it's pretty massive clusterfuck. As you can see here, hoplite wall is bugging out like crazy. So these noble swords are dropping down very quickly because I believe because of slingers. Here, bow horsemen with 67 kills. Mercenary axe warrior is chasing after the spear horseman. Another spear horseman coming in. I've got a basically full strength Illyrian cavalry just ready to charge in. I'm not using them well though. Here, I've popped intimidate onto the general. The general is tired right now, maybe because he's used headhunt. But now that means that he won't be able to use any further abilities. He won't be able to use second wind on his strategist general, which is just as crucial. That means he can't make his general unit fresh. And now I'm going to charge in with my Illyrian noble hoplites general, get a lot of kills. This noble swords unit down to 26 men, attacked in the rear, wavering. Pulling away with Illyrian cavalry there, 91 kills with them. I'm losing the flanks pretty decisively. My Illyrian hoplites just didn't manage to do anything. Illyrian cavalry here going to kill off the spear horseman. But Illyrian noble hoplites are tanking out this engagement. Noble swords general is in a very precarious position. Attacked by mercenary axe warriors in the front, Illyrian noble hoplites general in the rear, and just a ton of support here. This spear warrior died, of course, to my Illyrian noble hoplites. The Falksman has done very well, and they're about to come in for what is going to be a pretty deadly charge. Let's see if I can get it on Falkscam. So yeah, they're going to rear charge my Illyrian noble hoplites. So my Illyrian noble hoplites are not going to do well. Or are they Illyrian hoplites? Illyrian noble hoplites. They get attacked in the rear. Mercenary axe warriors with 87 kills. Falksman with 91 kills. And now I'm going to pull away. I used my slingers I moved them around from here to here. And these guys are going to be so important, which is why I intercepted this spear warrior with my general. Because what they're going to do now is just reposition and get perfect rear shots onto the general. So the general is in a very, very precarious position. The slingers so far have gotten 21 kills. Going to be shooting at these noble swords in the rear. Let's just see how well they do. 21 to 24 with 1 volley, 3 kills onto noble swords. Not bad, just racking up the kills now. Noble swords down to 62 men. I catch them with my Illyrian noble hoplites general, and that means they're going to be their unshielded side is going to be shot at by the slingers. Late game, any sort of slinger is going to be very deadly because that armor penetrating damage is going to be so crucial for you. These noble swords have done pretty decently. 203 kills. They got caught by mercenary axe warriors. pulling away with Illyrian Noble Hoplite so I can get a consecutive charge in. Illyrian Thuria Spears with a single XP chevron because they held up a lot of the Spear Horsemen. And now I'm going to support with Mercenary Axe Warriors over here. So using Warcry now with my General, popping Intimidate on the enemy General, of course. And Noble Swords, they're gone. The Noble Swords, the General has actually managed to pop Second Wind after my Intimidate. But all in all, you know, using Intimidate like that was good because that meant that he couldn't make them fresh immediately, which meant that that General unit was comparatively ineffective for quite a while. And that meant my Illyrian Noble Hoplites could turn the tide. You know, Illyrian Noble Hoplites had 96 kills, 88 kills, 211 kills, and General with 104 kills. Just extremely tanky units. Won't win out against Noble Swords, but with the right sort of support, they'll do well enough. They'll do well enough that you can win the battle elsewhere. And here, Foxman with a single XP share, 107 kills. The General recently died. And now these Foxmen, who themselves have done very well, 90 kills, are just not going to withstand anything. And here, of course, yeah, Foxmen not going to do much against Cavalry. Slingers here with 79 kills, Slave Slingers with 80 kills, getting some friendly fire damage too. So Slave Slingers just did brilliantly here. They were, I think they were probably the most crucial units for me to win this game. Costly victory for me, so I proceed on to the second round. The Illyrian Noble Hoplite, such a cool game. You know, there were two separate phases, and you know, both of them were very interesting. One of the Slave Slingers, you know, moving the Slave Slingers through the gap and into the rear of the enemy was, I think, a crucial move because that just let me kill off the Noble Swords that much quicker, inducing a morale panic that much quicker. Bringing the Intimidate and Warcry General was also, I think, a good move. There's no point in you bringing like a strategist Second Wind General because the Illyrian Noble Hoplites are not really going to like, you know, get tired very quickly in a battle. And Commander, not really. I mean, the morale boosting General, no real point. I mean, you're going to want your Illyrian Noble Hoplites to win you the game, and they don't really need any boost to morale. They have excellent morale at 70. So what you want to do is find a way to make the opponent elite melee swords to not matter as much, which is why using something like Intimidate, which prevents them from using Headhunt, or using Warcry, which at the right time will rout, you know, a unit of 20 to 30 Noble Swords who could otherwise really do a lot of damage. So I think bringing that General was also very crucial. Anyways, guys, a bit of a slower sort of replay. I paused it and I, you know, put it in slow motion quite a while, but I really wanted to tell you guys what was going on in my mind because this is a pretty interesting match. Hope you guys enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.